It's the Raw after WrestleMania, so that means we've got some good things and some bad things, but the most disappointing thing is the fact that we have to say goodbye to The Rock. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. It's time to review the Raw after WrestleMania. It is the 8th of April 2024, and it is hard not to feel down. It is hard not to feel negative because The Rock is gone. He's going away. He has to do movies. The good news is I do believe we're getting The Rock back. He pretty much said as much himself. I think we will see The Rock again, which is great, fantastic, brilliant. That's what we want. But the bad news is that he isn't going to be here for the foreseeable future, and these shows will be a lot worse without him. I mean, you look at The Rock. Now, there has been people that I think contributed pretty well heading up to WrestleMania. I think that Drew McIntyre has been at the top of his game for a while now, and he was, again, I thought Drew McIntyre was great tonight on Raw. Killed it. Absolutely killed it in his promo. But The Rock has been the best thing. Yeah, we've had CM Punk a few times, and it's always great to see CM Punk. He's always entertaining, but The Rock's actually been there. The Rock has almost felt like a full-timer in this build-up to WrestleMania. And now he's went from, like, you know, a guy that's almost a full-timer to a guy that's doing no time. So it's very, very disappointing. But yeah, let's start with Raw. We got a Triple H promo talking about Mania, talking about the new era. I mean, I used to like when we seen Triple H, but now, I mean, he's got nothing interesting to say. He just puts over crowd attendances and new errors and stuff like that. I mean, Triple H he's just losing his appeal. Like, don't get me wrong, I still think him cutting a promo is an okay part of the show, but Triple H coming out just doesn't feel like McMahon coming out. And I know people will maybe not like McMahon, they maybe hate McMahon, but when McMahon came out, you always felt like you were getting something big. It always felt important. Triple H comes out, it just doesn't feel that way, you know, and it's not that way. More often than not, he's just out there to toot his big horn or to toot his big nose. But he congratulated Cody Rhodes, and he had a highlight package for Cody Rhodes, although they had to show it on this like little fucking TV screen because they were trying to fit more fans in, so they didn't have this big Titantron, so they had to show it on like a little TV, and it looked really, really cheap. It looked poor as fuck, but no, I guess they wanted to get more fans into the arena, so that happened there. And then Cody was crying. Cody crybaby, always crying. Triple H leaves. Cody then asks everybody what they want to talk about. Again, it's the same shite. We've already heard this. We already know what they want to talk about. Samantha Irvine announces Cody Rhodes as the champion again. Reigns says, Cody Rhodes said that he knew he had to be the one to end Reigns' title reign. He talks about his mother, how his mother, I don't know, I guess she gave him the motivation to do it. And then The Rock comes out. And The Rock's got his belt, and I don't really like this because The Rock is coming out with a belt that he didn't win. Yeah, it's nice to be honoured with a belt, but I mean, does he really need to carry it out to the ring with him? The Rock says that Philadelphia broke another record tonight for the largest gathering of trailer park trash. Got to love The Rock. Fans are booing The Rock here. The Rock is firing back at the trailer park trash. The Rock then talks about Cody Rhodes beating Roman Reigns. He says that his father would be proud. The Rock then wants to swap belts. So The Rock gives Cody his belt. Cody gives The Rock his belt. I thought this was cringe that they were swapping belts. The Rock then hands it back. And then The Rock hands Cody Rhodes something in his hand. I don't know what it was. And he says, "Never break my heart again." And that was pretty much it. Rock said that his father would be looking down and he wouldn't be proud of the things that The Rock done to Cody Rhodes. Look, it was a good start. I mean, The Rock came out and obviously it picked up. I mean, Cody Rhodes, his first appearance as champion, didn't really do it for me. Very lackluster, very boring. People can say what they want. I wasn't interested in this Cody Rhodes promo. And people will say, "Nah, Rhodes is great, Rhodes is this." It was lackluster. It was. If The Rock never came out to save this segment, it would have sucked. But unfortunately, The Rock's leaving now. We don't know when he'll be back. But the good news is, I think that he will be back. So I'm looking forward to that. We get an announcement that there's going to be a draft. Then we got Nakamura versus NXT's Eli Dragunov. And later on, we also got what's that woman? Indy Hartwell versus NXT's Roxanne Perez. And I always say that when people get called up from NXT, the main roster just completely ruins them. And this is proof. I mean, Eli Dragunov is coming up and he's just beating Nakamura like it's easy. Roxanne Perez is coming up and beating Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell left NXT about, 10 months ago? She's been on the main roster for nearly a full year. Yet she looked like a jobber against Roxanne Perez. Surely Indy Hartwell, being on the main roster for a year, should be a lot further ahead. She should be a lot further advanced. She should be a much more top tier wrestler than Roxanne Perez is. Yet the two NXT guys just come up to Raw tonight and they beat Nakamura, who's considered a top mid-carder, and then Indy Hartwell. It just goes to show that a lot of people on Raw are treated as jobbers and that people from NXT can just come up and beat them. But Indy Hartwell 10 months ago was NXT champion. It's dumb. It just shows you, once you go from NXT to the main roster, you're completely forgotten about. And it's sad because NXT does a good job of creating some good wrestlers, creating some good characters. They go to the main roster and they literally do nothing with them. Sometimes going to the main... I know you want to go to the main roster. You have to go to the main roster eventually, but I mean, sometimes it can be a bit of a death sentence. Up next, we had Damian Priest's championship celebration. I just can't take this seriously. Damian Priest is the champ. He's coming out with the Judgment Day. You got JD McDonough acting like a goofball. R-Truth comes out, and R-Truth's doing a comedy gimmick, and R-Truth is face to face with Damian Priest, the new World Heavyweight Champion, and they're going face to face with each other. It's like, what the hell? How can we treat Damian Priest as a serious threat when he's doing more comedy banter bullshit with R-Truth? R-Truth challenges him to a match. It's going to be him, Miz, and the guy that can't see. Miz isn't happy that it's a 3-on-2 match, but wait, what's this? Big John Cena comes out, hits a couple of big 5-knuckle shuffles, hits a couple of suplexes, then we see a triple attitude adjustment, and Truth, Miz, and Cena get the win. So, I mean, it was cool to see John Cena come back. Didn't really offer much, but look, I'm not going to say no. We get to see John Cena back on TV. That works for me, so I'm happy enough with that. We then got a Bronson Reed promo. If anyone cares. I have to take a drink of my Red Bull here because Bronson Reed. I said the name Bronson Reed and it kind of just started putting me to sleep. Bronson Reed, man. What a jobber. Anyway, then we got Roxanne Perez versus Indy Hartwell. Already spoke about that. Indy Hartwell loses to Roxanne. I think Sami Zayn embraced backstage with Uso. Sami Zayn and Chad Gable then took on Imperium. Imperium were not happy that the title belt is no longer sacred. I mean, who cares? Gunther's a boring bastard. I'm glad he's no longer the champion. Let's just move on for everybody's sake. Sami Zayn and Gable win the match. So that was that. Will Gable get the next shot against Sami Zayn? I think he will. We see Adam Pearce having a conversation with Nick Aldis and Ava for the upcoming draft. I don't know what's going to happen. Chelsea Green is pissed off that she wasn't part of WrestleMania. Pearce informs Green that she will have a special match tonight, so she's going to be in a match. And I believe that we are going to get an Intercontinental title shot next week. Is Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable, so we're going to get that. Next week on Raw, Andrade will take on Dominic. Then we got Jade Cargill versus Chelsea Green. Jade Cargill comes out with her entrance, looks like a star, beats Chelsea Green in like 30 seconds. We're going to have to wait and see if they do Jade Cargill right, but I mean, she does look like someone that you can literally push to the top. Alright, then we got Drew McIntyre promo. This was fantastic. Drew McIntyre came out, he was not happy, he was furious, talking about Seth Rollins. He respects Seth Rollins, but he doesn't respect the way he lost the belt. Everyone's laughing that he lost the title. He only had it for 5 minutes 40 seconds. He says that's longer than most of you guys last in bed. Then he called Damian Priest Bondage Undertaker and says that he wants to whoop his ass. But unfortunately, Priest would probably like that. So Drew McIntyre here completely burying Priest. But when he said it, there was like a weird silence for the crowd. It was almost like the crowd didn't want to cheer. I know he's a heel, but he didn't even get a pop, and it's not because he's a heel. It's just, I think it's purely because people would get freaked out over this. They would think that Drew McIntyre is like homophobic, or he's like kink shaming or some bullshit like that because he called him Bondage Undertaker. It was a funny line, but it didn't really get popped by anybody in the crowd. And then he told Priest that he's going to be a transitional champion. He says the Money in the Bank briefcase is a joke, a freaking joke. It's cost him the world title twice now, and it cheapens everything Seth and he did. And then he turned his attention to CM Punk, and he says that he's basically going to destroy CM Punk if he ever comes back. So he also calls CM Punk a coward, and he says that he's going to attack CM Punk's weakest part of the body, but every part of the body is CM Punk's weakest part because he's Fragile Phil. So yeah, great promo from Drew McIntyre. I really, really enjoyed this. Drew McIntyre is doing the best stuff of his career. We then move into the Fatal 4-Way match. It was McIntyre versus Uso versus Ricochet versus Bronson Reed. Winner becomes #1 contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. We got a good match. Jey Uso wins. After CM Punk comes out, he grabs Drew McIntyre's leg. He costs through the match, and Jey Uso gets the victory. So again, look, the rivalry between Drew and CM Punk really good. CM Punk coming out screwing Drew McIntyre out of the victory. Brilliant stuff. You know, that will advance that feud 100%. But I just feel like Drew McIntyre should be the champion. You look at what Drew McIntyre's doing, then you look at what Damian Priest is doing. Drew McIntyre is head and shoulders above Damian Priest, and I think they've made a mistake. I get it. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre's feud's probably getting better because Punk cost him the title, and that's a good thing. But overall, we've hurt Raw by not having a great world champion, and I truly believe that Drew McIntyre, with the work he's doing right now, could have been a great world champion. But no, it's going to be Jey Uso versus Damian Priest at the pay-per-view. It's not. I mean, I can't believe that's for a world title. I get it. They're going to try and create new stars, but Priest versus Jey Uso just feels like a lackluster match to me. So let me know what you guys think down below. I mean, it was good to see The Rock for one last time tonight. Drew McIntyre was great with his promo. Other than that, though, there wasn't much there. Honestly, there really wasn't that much there. I really enjoyed Drew McIntyre and getting to see Cena as well. To be honest, Cena coming out, 5-knuckle shuffle, can't see me, all that good stuff. You know, I'll give it a 4 out of 10. I'll give Raw a 4 out of 10. Drew McIntyre, I think he should have the belt. It's a mistake not having the belt on Drew McIntyre. But anyway, guys, that's it. I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, been Fog Wrestling. Thanks for watching, and peace.